You're Beautiful, 1973, and Goodbye, My Lover. Those are some of his biggest hits, and that's exactly what the sold-out Johannesburg audience were treated to when British singer James Blunt kicked off his South African tour at the weekend. Supported by local star Josie Field, Blunt says he was excited to perform for the first time on South African soil.
Well, I think people normally expect me to be the way the media pigeonholed me, which is one man and a guitar. But actually, you know, I brought a five-piece band, and it's a really energetic show. And we get up. There's no machinery, computer machinery behind us. Nothing recorded. It's a live band, and people are normally surprised by the kind of energy that we brought along to it and the enthusiasm. And I hope the crowd will get behind it too and enjoy it.
Beautiful dawn.
After selling in excess of 11 million copies of his Back to Bedlam debut album, Blunt released his latest offering, All the Lost Souls, last year, an album he says is a very honest one based on his experiences and emotions over the last 3 years.
Well, you know, each song has its own, its own story to tell. It's not just about the notion of being famous. It's about life since then. It's just my own diary since then. There's still human experience, though. I may have cameras in front of me, and I may have microphones recording what's going on. But I'm not anything different from you. I still am a human. I still experience the same human emotions as you. I still have the same hopes and the same fears. I'm alive, like you. And so the songs reflect that, and I hope that still, you and anyone else would be able to relate to those songs. Same Mistake is a song about guilt and reflection, how sometimes you make the same mistakes again. You don't learn from your own mistakes. I'm sure you can understand and relate to that, how sometimes one can be one's own worst enemy. I really want you, again, it is about that notion of, well, it talks about politics and race, a whole host of things, the consciousness, life, but the basic raw human condition, the need to try and connect with someone along the way. So, that kind of notion. I think the difference between the first and the second is I do talk about they and them a lot, and they and them could be perceived as something like the media.
Okay.
Could be they, the audience, or being thrust in the public eye. But I think you have a they in your life as well, don't you? Mm-hmm. Presumably the people in your office, in your social group. Once upon a time in your school, and the other people you were at school with. We all have a they. I just didn't sing about them before, but now I've just felt the pressure from them more and more aware of it, because they are more prevalent in my life. Because whatever you write will impact on my life along the way, because someone else will be asking me questions about what you write further down the line.
Take me through a typical moment just before you go on stage and you're performing to, tonight, say for instance, you're performing to 25,000 people. What goes through your head just before you walk onto stage? How do you prep yourself?
I think the last thing that goes through my head is, are my flies done up?
Okay.
It's pretty much that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Other than that, we're pretty relaxed about the whole thing. I don't think my heart goes any faster than it is now. It's we're pretty relaxed because we really enjoy what we do. Mm-hmm. We've done it a lot, so we're really comfortable with what we do. And it's a really the stage is a really kind of pure and safe place. It's a really direct dialogue with an audience. It's as I say, the rest of the time there can be a bit of confusion about what's going on in my more visible role now. If I meet people within the media, there's a story that makes them money. If I meet other people who might want, who've been told about me, they might want a picture or an autograph, and I feel sometimes uncomfortable with that because I'm not a trophy, I'm a human. But on stage, it's just a direct conversation with people. It's a direct conversation saying, I feel this way, and the person in the audience, that those people, I have many thousand of them, going, what, I feel the same way. I relate to that in some understanding, and so for that reason, we're pretty relaxed. Just check your flies, and that's how we'll be happy when we're up there. Hey, I'm James Blunt. You can check out my album All the Lost Souls, and you're watching